This is my second video of Economics Standard 11 chapter number 2. Here we'll discuss the features of utility. The first feature of utility is it is subjective and not objective. Now subjective means it depends from person to person. One person may get a particular amount of satisfaction by consuming an apple. Another person may get a different level of satisfaction by consuming the same apple. It is not fixed for all. It is not objective. It differs from person to person. In fact, for the same person also, it depends upon the intensity of the desire. When he is hungry, he gets more satisfaction. When he is not hungry, he gets less satisfaction. Then, utility is a concept which cannot be measured because it is again subjective. How will you find out how much satisfaction? You know that you have got satisfaction by consuming the apple, but how much did you get? That is not measurable. Then, it is relative. That means it depends upon a person's need and it changes from a person to person, from a place to place, from depending upon the intensity of the desire. If he needs the product more, his utility will be more. If he needs the product less, his utility will be less. Then, utility is completely different from the term usefulness. For example, a person who smokes, he gets satisfaction by smoking, but that product is of no use to him. Okay? The satisfaction which he gets is utility. Okay? But then the product does not possess any form of usefulness. Then, for getting satisfaction, an activity may or may not have moral or legal connotations. A person stealing, it is his need. He needs money, so he steals money. After stealing money, he gets utility because he's satisfied with it. Okay? But then, is it legally allowed? Is it morally correct? Okay? So, when a activity provides us utility or a product provides us utility, it does not mean that it is morally or legally correct. And the last one is utility is a concept which cannot be seen, cannot be touched, it is not tangible, it is abstract. Then moving on to the next slide, we have the concept of price of a commodity. Now you must have heard the term price. When you go to buy a commodity, you pay something for it. When you go to buy a pen, you pay something for it. That is known as price. That unit of money which we give to get a commodity is known as price. Now, we consume air also, but we don't pay a price for it. Why is that so? Okay. Price of a commodity is determined by its demand and supply. If its supply is limited, we have to pay a price to get the commodity. If its supply is unlimited, we don't have to pay a price. The product becomes a free product. Then, air, for example, supply is unlimited, hence the product is said to have no price and it is a free product. Okay, so a product which charges us money is an economic good. A free product is known as a non-economic good. The price of a product is determined by its demand and supply. When the prices rise, that condition is known as inflation. Now, a simple rise in price is not inflation. A persistent rise in price, that means the price should continuously rise. Okay? It should be appreciable. A very small amount of rise in price is not inflationary. There should be a sufficient amount of rise in price. Third, general price level means prices of price of many products or of all the products should increase at a particular point of time. And the price rise should be for a prolonged period of time. Persistence means today it increased, tomorrow it decreased. That should not happen. Appreciable means not a very small rise in the price. General price level means price should not rise for just one product. It should rise for more number of products or for all the products. Okay? And price should rise for a longer period of time. The next concept is that of value. When a household buys a commodity, they place a value to it. that valuation of the product is known as value. When you buy a product for consumption, okay, the value you attach to the product, that's what we are talking about. There are two types of values. One is nominal value and the second one is real value. Nominal value is the value of a commodity expressed in terms of money. For example, the value of 1 kg potato is 20 rupees and the value of 1 kg onion, say 40 rupees. Now, real value is the value which is expressed in terms of other goods. For example, see these two products. The price of onion is double the price of potato. So we can say 1 kg of onion is equal to 2 kg of potatoes because the value of 1 kg onion is equal to the value of 2 kg potatoes. Okay. The cost of 1 kg onion is 40 and the cost of 2 kg potato is 40. Hence, when we express the term value of onion in terms of potato, it is known as real value. When you express the value of onion in terms of money, it's known as nominal value. Then, moving on to the next slide. Money. What is money? Okay, now we'll discuss about what is a market. We regularly go to the market. Okay. Now, in ordinary sense, a market is a place where commodities are bought and sold. That place, what you know to buy till today, market is that place where goods are sold. But in economics, it is not a particular place. It is not a particular place. It is that system or the setup in which buyers and sellers are able to communicate and interact with each other and strike a deal about the price and quantity. That means there must be goods, there must be a buyer, there must be a seller. The buyer and seller should be able to communicate among each other regarding the price of the product and the quantity to be bought and sold. Any place or so say anywhere that setup is carried on, the system or the like in any instance where there is a buyer and a seller, at your home presently if there's a buyer and a seller, then your home becomes a market. Okay, online when we buy goods, that is a market, but that is not a place, isn't it so? We just virtually buy the goods, but then that is a market. Okay, a market is not that particular place. It is that system or the setup by which buyers and sellers come together, buy a product, pay a price for the product and purchase the commodity. Hence, it is necessary that there is a buyer, there is a seller and there is a commodity. Hence, it is not a particular place. And then we have used the word communicate here, that communication may not be personal, like face to face. Okay, it can be over telephones, it can be through different persons. Any form of communication is known as market. Wherever there is a communication through any medium, directly or indirectly, and there's a purchase of a commodity with a price, then that becomes a market. Then income. Flow of goods and services or money accruing to an individual or all the people in an economy over some specified period of time. A person works for a month, he is given 10 kg in a rice mill. He works for 1 month, 30 days. He is given 10 kg of rice. That is his income. Another person works in that same rice mill and is provided 100 rupees. That is his income. Okay. And it should be over a specified period of time. Okay. Whenever a person purchases a product, whenever a person gets something in return for the work he has done, whatever he receives, whether it is a product or money, that is termed as his income. Then comes factor income. We have discussed about factors of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. Those factors of production also earn money. The money earned by them is known as factor income. Income earned by an individual largely by selling his factor services to firms. Firms means producers. They are the ones who are producing the goods. Okay, they produce the goods with the help of land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. These are factors. These factors provide their services to the firms. Why do we say they are providing their service? When a person uses somebody else's land, that land does not become his. He only gets a right to use the land for a certain time period. Okay, when a person lends you 1,000 rupees for production, okay, you only get a right to use the money for a certain time period, and after which you will have to return it back to the person again. Got it? So that is why it is referred to as factor services. These owners of land, labor, capital and entrepreneur provide their services to the firms, and in return firms provide them an income, be it in the form of goods and services or in the form of money. The amount of money paid to the landowner is known as rent. Labor gets wages for the work he does. Capital gets interest for the work he does. And the entrepreneur is paid profits for the work he does. So, these rent, wages, interest and profit are termed as factor income.